off to a so-so start this year, a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team, aren't they?
A little bit. I mean, they really are in a position where with the money that they've invested, yes, they've got that one league title under their belt, and they certainly want to do something in Europe. It's great for the club, it's great for the branding of the club, and they certainly want to take that big step on, and the ownership has done a terrific job in giving the coaches everything that they need to be successful, but it's a one thing to win games on the pitch. Tough group last year, all champions. It was always going to be difficult for them, and now they got Bayern Munich. This is a massive match for them in a group that is certainly manageable outside of the champions Bayern Munich. So looking to build on this season. Been inconsistent. Maybe they can play like they did against Manchester United. We'll be in for some treat of football today if they do.
Well, if both teams play their best, it should be quite a contest. If Manchester City are not up to it, then, well, maybe Bayern Munich are in for a treat here. But we'll find out. That's why we play the games. And at the conclusion of the anthem, it'll be over to Martin Tyler and Gary Neville for the call of the first half. Enjoy the game, everyone.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. The two favourites, really, to go through from this group both started emphatically with 3-0 victories. And City's success in Pilsen was their first win in the Champions League since they beat Bayern Munich here in December 2011 in what was, in effect, a dead rubber. It was a very understrength Bayern squad that night. It is not that case tonight.
A starting 11 for Bayern Munich.
Well, Manuel Pellegrini brings the changes from the defeat which so annoyed him at Villa Park, with the emphasis on the full-back positions. Micah Richards makes only his second appearance of the season at right-back. And Gar Clichy, who's missed 5 of the last 6, also starts. Also back Jesus Navas, who was only a substitute at the weekend. And the talismanic Sergio Aguero, who hasn't been in action since his 2 goals in the Manchester derby. David Silva, incidentally, is fit again and on the bench.
And finally, number 39, Toni Kroos.
The officials tonight all come from the Netherlands, led by referee Bjorn Kuipers. Pep Guardiola makes one alteration to the side which comfortably disposed of CSKA Moscow on match day 1. Bastian Schweinsteiger, very much the heart of the midfield, is fit to reclaim a place. But Toni Kroos and Philipp Lahm in his new central role both stay on the side. It is the main striker, Mario Mandzukic, who loses out, with Thomas Muller pushed further forward.
15, Jesus Navas.
Well, he is often a man for the big occasion. But Gary, what we've got is the nouveau riche of the Champions League in Manchester City against a member of European football's aristocracy.
Yeah, huge club Bayern Munich. See there, Frank Ribery. You look at Sergio Aguero before. He's the one that I would think that Dante and Boateng, the 2 big, tall Bayern Munich centre-backs, we're most concerned about. The one that can create something out of nothing.
So City kick-off. They've played 4 games here this season. They've won all 4. They've scored 15 goals and only conceded once to that wonderful Wayne Rooney free kick for Manchester United. But having rather disposed of the champions of England, what will they do tonight against the champions of Europe? We've got Neuer coming out of his area to knock the ball away.
Well, they did well there, Manchester City. Bayern Munich put a huge press on them from kick-off, sprinting to every Manchester City player.
Here's Company. He made his comeback on match day 1. And has got back in the groove in the game since then. But Micah Richards, Gary, this is a big night. You know all about playing right back in matches of this magnitude.
Yeah, I think it's a huge physical test for him. Obviously hasn't played too much football against one of the very best wingers in Ribery.
Here is Ribery. Knocked off by Fernandinho. Referee saw nothing initially to blow about, but when Schweinsteiger went down, it's a free kick to Bayern. First time he's taken on Manchester City, at least in official competition. The clubs did meet in a pre-season tournament a couple of months ago in Munich. And the City scored first, but Bayern won 2-1.
And as expected for Bayern Munich, Lahm is operating in that deep lying midfield role. It does seem unusual seeing him in there, as great a right back as he is.
Well, he's certainly been talked up by the man who's put him there, Pep Guardiola, who said if he was played up front, he'd be the best up front in the world.
Well, you do get the feeling when you watch him, he isn't a right back, he's just a great footballer. He can go either way, left hand, right foot.
A foul by Ribéry, of course voted best player in Europe last season, which was a compliment both to him and to Bayern Munich for their unique treble. Dante's header. Jesus Navas. Pressed back by Bayern. Here's Alaba, the left back from Austria. Such an attacking presence. And he put in a very good cross. And Arjen Robben, incidentally, if he scores tonight, will set a new Bayern Champions League record. 5 consecutive matches. He might have got that with that header.
Well, you look at all those Bayern Munich players around the ball. You talk about the best counter-attacks is when you win it high up the pitch. They have men forward. Arjen Robben in the middle there, just gets in front of Nastasic, and in between him and company. Just there, loses his man Nastasic. It's a good chance for Robben.
Scored in both legs of the semi-final against Barcelona, of course in the final to win the European Cup for Bayern, and then helped himself against CSKA in the opening match of this season's group stage. On the night City were winning in the Czech Republic in Pilsen. Bayern trying to hold a really high line here.
It's a new way, this, no doubt about it. Teams are staying higher on these set pieces.
They haven't really dealt with it, and Aguero almost able to smuggle the ball into a shooting position. Navas tries to whip it back in, and Manchester City have a corner.
And that's got the crowd up. We talk about a special European atmosphere. I think to create that, you need a big European win. Could this be the night that Manchester City come of age?
Well, company we focus on, but Richards is lurking behind him, and of course one asset he does bring in, as well as his defensive qualities, is this wonderful spring-heeled leap and ability to launch himself at balls played into the box as Nasri puts it in now. Comes back to the Frenchman. Still plenty of City players in there. And there you are. Micah Richards makes good contact.
He just gets up so early, Micah Richards.
Alaba. There's Ribéry, who had to get special permission to travel because he'd lost his passport when he came to get ready to leave Germany for Manchester. It's not that unusual for a footballer to do that. Harry Neville nods from experience. I'm sure not personal experience, and maybe from some of your teammates. Wasn't the best journey with his difficulties, and then when they arrived in Manchester, Mario Götze had lost his luggage.
That's Manchester for you. Might not have been lost.
Here's Rafinha, who's one of the individual winners about Guardiola taking over. He wasn't really near the team under Heinkes, but he's got the right back berth with Lahm. He's in midfield. Ribéry! Oh my goodness! Well, Manchester City would wish that he hadn't got permission to travel. Joe Hart, beaten by the near post, won't be too impressed with himself for that. But the power of Ribéry has driven Bayern Munich into an early lead here at the Etihad Stadium.
Well, it's a fantastic start for Bayern Munich and for Frank Ribéry. He had so much time and space. Ball gets switched. He's left one on, doesn't get tight to Micah Richards. Alaba moves round, but it's the power of the shot. He's got to do better there, Joe Hart. Beaten at his near post, just goes through his hand. And not the start that Manchester City wanted. And the goalkeeper.
Well, he's used to winning matches, Pep Guardiola. He's won 10 of his 12 in charge of Bayern. Only lost once, and that was in the German Super Cup to their big rivals Borussia Dortmund, who actually ahead them in the league table on goal difference.
I was just about to say, before that goal went in, with a fascinating match developing. Manchester City trying to push up the pitch, as our Bayern Munich really condensed the game into about a 40-metre area in the centre.
Not according to plan so far.
Well, defensive mistakes, goalkeeping mistakes at Aston Villa at the weekend cost Pellegrini. He's had another one tonight.
Dante pressed by Dzeko as Manchester City tried to get into the faces of the European champions. Actually 100 days of Guardiola's reign in charge of Bayern today. And there have been some judgmental pieces in the German newspapers, most of which have been very complimentary. There have been some questions asked, including his own sporting director, Matthias Sammer, who said the team was playing, though they were winning, they're playing without emotion, without passion. And in a way, it stirred up a bit of passion, which perhaps was why it was said.
It's a strong statement.
Sort of statement that's usually confined to within the four walls of the dressing room.
It's not the way it works at Bayern Munich. There's quite a few voices in the board at the club, and you usually hear them.
Well, he, in turn, Sammer was taken to task by the men in the boardroom, Uli Hoeneß and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, of course, great players of their time. Lahm. He'll get another go at it. It's a little bit fortunate to do so.
And that's always going to be the out for Bayern Munich, with Nasri tucking in on that left-hand side.
Oh, it's a typical darting run from Arjen Robben.
Well, you could just sense there that Gael Clichy nervous about tackling Arjen Robben in the box.
And if Robben doesn't get you, Ribery will. It's often the way with Bayern. Ribery's actually scored his first goal in 11 Champions League games. And he's contributed in many other areas. This is Müller. It's just behind. He half thought about going for the volley, I think. Post makes the challenge. After Manchester City tried to set the early agenda, rocked back by Ribery.
Well, you're absolutely right, understandably. It's taken the edge off the Manchester City crowd.
Dante. So, Richards going in strongly. This is his way.
Well, he's knocked him into next week. And he's typical Micah Richards. Such a huge frame. Oh dear.
And it was all about the angles, wasn't it? Kroos was looking at the ball, as was Richard coming in from a different angle.
Just the power of the challenge from Micah Richards. He had his eye on the ball, won it cleanly.
Well, it was almost a sighter you felt from Ribery, and maybe he was surprised that it ended up past Joe Hart. I think the goalkeeper was.
Yeah, it was just the power. There was a gap at the near post, but he's got to have a strong hand there, Joe Hart. Goalkeeper of his quality. And now it becomes a long night. You've got to recover, pick yourself up.
Brian Kidd just leaning across, of course, a former winner of this competition in his young days as a teenager at Manchester United. Jesus Navas. Now, Nastasic. Plenty of time for recovery. That's some consolation for Manchester City, having gone behind.
We're just playing against a team that don't concede a lot of goals. See what the way in which they're defending, make it so difficult to pass the ball.
Alaba. Lam. Robin comes infield. There's a chance for Rafinha to go forward. Boateng, of course, had a season here as a Manchester City player. It's a bit of a staying where you are kind of season. He didn't really progress, and City decided to cash in on an offer that came for Bayern for him. Schweinsteiger, Robert. It's a lovely ball by Boateng. Into the feet of Ribery, couldn't make too much of it. They've won it back though, Bayern. City, you feel, are a little shaken here.
Well, we watched the German performance here last year in the group phase, Borussia Dortmund, where they were quick to get to the ball. Really didn't let Manchester City settle. It's the same again tonight.
It does take time, of course, as some of the Premier League clubs are finding out, for new managers to impose their style on a successful group of players. But Guardiola's desire to see the ball being passed, being evident in this passage of play, and then they're positive with Rafinha's cross, and it leads to a corner.
Well, they've got that switch out to Rafinha on the right-hand side of Robin 3 or 4 times now from left to right. Nasri tucking in that midfield like he usually does, but it's causing a problem for Manchester City. They've got an easy out every time, Bayern Munich.
There's a recent game, I think it was against Nuremberg, they had 81% possession over the 90 minutes with Bayern. Doing something with the ball is what Manchester City have to try and achieve here, but getting the ball is going to be the hard part. Here's Ribery, accompanied by a bit of time, and then Hart able to make an easier save on the follow-up.
See, they're dominating the game so far, Bayern.
Dante has to be a bit agricultural with the clearance. Well, there to help out. Muller has been playing in the middle of the 4-man midfield behind Mandzukic. Flags up for offside. Neuer knew that. I don't know. He started to come out as if he thought he was going to get the ball, and checked.
Well, it was a late flag. You know that Aguero definitely was offside. Yeah, he's just off. Dzeko stood in there.
Dzeko preferred to Alvaro Negredo. Ribery. Guardiola tried to do something that no visiting team has done to Manchester City in the Champions League. Of course, it's only their 3rd season, but they have got an undefeated home record. They drew all their games here last season. Of course, lost the 3 away and ended up bottom of the section. But going to it, Dante wasn't sure. He's involved now. Ribery. Here's Kroos, Ribery. Good running by Müller. Backed up by Alaba. Wants to get a better angle here. He's rolled past Nastasic. Comes out to Kroos. Oh, and Ribery had a flick at that. And Joe Hart was still repositioning.
Well, he chose to punch Joe Hart at his near post. He should have caught it. See, here is the cross should come in from Alaba.
Bayern have already beaten English opposition this season. Chelsea in the European Super Cup went to penalties, and they were a few seconds away actually from losing to Mourinho's men. But here's Jesus Navas. The four to try and find in the middle. Out by Alaba.
Well, all he had to do, Navas, was beat Dante at the near post.
Here's Robin. Cleared by company only as far as Lahm. Hasn't scored a goal for Bayern for nearly 3 years. It's dealt with by Richards. Alaba, though, a bit ring-fenced at the moment, Manchester City, and no wonder. Alaba, who's got a decent record of scoring from distance at free kicks in particular. Given Joe Hart's uncertainty on the one goal so far, why not have a crack?
Well, the backup play really well. Alaba was quick there. He was defending 1 minute in a left-back position. The next minute he's up there, 5-10 yards outside Manchester City's box.
Aguero. Well, Yaya Touré's been in wonderful form. We've hardly mentioned him so far. Got into the game as yet. Player well known to Guardiola, of course. He let him go in the end, throwing Busquets for that holding job in Barcelona. Up against Jesus Navas.
Just spun in behind Alaba, but they do keep a good line. See Bayern Munich here. They don't drop off. Just goes a yard in front. Navas.
Müller. Boateng. Schweinsteiger. Robin. Now Kroos. Missed out on the climax of last season because of injury. Was hurt in the quarter-final against Juventus. There's Robin winning it back. We shouldn't say that with so much surprise these days. I mean, a lot of these City players, Samir Nasri amongst them, have been in exceptionally good form in the early weeks of the season. Of course, they really bit into Manchester United in the first 55 minutes or so, roll into that 4-0 lead.
Well, they've just got to stay in the game at the moment. This is a different level that we're watching here from Bayern Munich.
Ribery appreciating the intentions. The City are taking on a team that have lost just 2 of their last 52 matches.
Well, you can see why. If we can just see how many Bayern Munich players are around this throw-in. They call it the ugly part of the game, but when the best teams do it, it really is brilliant to see. Look at them all around there, those red shirts.
They get fantastic backing. There's 2,500 Bayern fans here. It's just a sense of invincibility that the supporters bring with them. Nothing lasts forever. Manchester City are setting out to try and be part of the new European hierarchy. Still plenty of steps to climb in that respect.
You see how difficult it's been for Manchester City in his first 20 minutes. 6 attempts on the goal, really struggling to get into the Bayern Munich half with possession, let alone have a shot.
Rafinha, Lahm. Clichy trying to bring it forwards. He's got to get attuned to the pace of this kind of fixture as well after a few games on the sidelines. Interesting choices at fullbacks for Pellegrini. Maybe a reaction to what happened at Villa Park. Clichy, of course, hasn't been fit, and Richards too missed some of the start of the season with a hamstring problem. Kroos. Maybe he's trying to knock it in behind company for Muller to chase. Off goes Aguero. Extra hope for the City fans when he fronts up the defenders. Nasri, supported by Clichy. Aguero again. Everyone back for Bayern. And Nastasic not under great pressure. And only guide it too wide.
Well, once they go backwards, Manchester City then have a problem because Bayern push up. I think when Aguero was one-on-one with Boateng, may have been worth having a go at him, testing him out in the early... Well, first time in the game he got the ball, Aguero in a one-on-one situation.
Ribery. And by Kroos. Oh, Muller would have taken that on. Lacking a bit of support. And a miscontrol from Lahm. Dante with a sturdy tackle.
That's brilliant from Dante. Brilliant from Dante, that is.
Schweinsteiger, here's Robin. I'll show him away from his left foot. That's the theory, but in practice it's very hard to do. Toure still struggling to impose his considerable presence on the match. Jesus Navas. Oh, and it's run through. And the flag has gone up. To the surprise of Aguero. Two Bayern players confusing each other.
There's a mix-up in the middle, Boateng and Lahm, both getting in each other's way. He's just offside. Again, that well-kept line, saving them. They've got a few problems at the moment, Manchester City, but the three in midfield, Schweinsteiger, Kroos and Lahm, really are controlling the game against Fernandinho and Yaya Toure.
Back heel by Rafinha. Robin.
Just outnumbering them here in these positions.
Ribery taking on Richards. Needed some very good defending, and it got it from Nastasic. This time, Dzeko, who probably felt he was fouled in that earlier challenge. Free kick given against Dante, the Brazilian.
Yeah. You see Dante, front foot all the time, stepping forwards, always trying to get in front of Dzeko.
Not the nearest thing in hairstyles to Marouane Fellaini. One of the top clubs at the moment. Ribery. Well, the one thing there's been a couple of examples of it, Gary, of Bayern just being a little lax by their exalted standards. A long way to go in this game, and if City are given something of a spark, they could really catch fire.
No problem here.
Away by Fernandinho. Toure doesn't get very far. Ribery trying to step in. This is Kroos. There's a lot of tension as well as talent out there Schweinsteiger, nicely done. Robin. Schweinsteiger again. Oh, and Ribéry, not really tightly marked in the area. Still able to keep possession. That sort of thing has just crept into Bayern's game a little bit. City at the moment haven't sorted themselves out to take advantage of it. They certainly have the attributes to do just that. And here's Jesus Navas, one of the newcomers this season with the Champions League football, I'm sure, in mind. We get there again. The end product is lucky. He thinks it should be a corner. Aguero was rather giving him a bit of a stare, as if he'd wasted the potential of that position near the byline.
Well, it can happen in games when you don't see too much of the ball and then it finally does come to you. You just don't have that lack of composure and try and force things.
We're looking at a club that set some 25 new records last season, including that winning of the treble. Also become the first German club to win the Super Cup this season, only by the skin of their teeth. Lahm, Ribéry. It's beautifully played between Ribéry and Alaba. Muller, Alaba's offside.
When you watch football like that, you're just watching a team at absolute peak of their form, the confidence. See it here, the quick 1-2 between Alaba and Ribéry is brilliant. Company gets dragged out, great strength from Muller. He just goes too early, Alaba, on the return.
Big rivalry between Germany and Austria, but the Germans have certainly taken this Austrian to their hearts, certainly the Bavarians. Kroos. Muller. Well, single header that a Manchester City defender would have made. Fernandinho flicked off Yaya Touré and allowed perhaps Clichy to make a challenge, but it breaks Bayern's way, Rafinha's way. Lahm on to Kroos. They're doing shuttle runs to try and defend from the front and try and help Manchester City win the ball a bit further forward.
I think it's important that Dzeko or Aguero do drop back in onto Lahm. You see him there patrolling, Aguero's going back towards him. That's better from Aguero, forcing them to at least go back the way.
It's been a sophisticated 30 minutes from the European champions. Embroidered by an opening goal from Frank Ribéry.
They can't get out at all. They're being strangled by this Bayern Munich press.
Big diagonal by Dante. This is Robin. City are in trouble here. Oh, and he won't reach it, Thomas Müller. Just hit with too much pace. To the right sort of area, but with too much power.
Oh, and they play even an ugly ball forward like that. You see the way, and they're picking up the second balls. He's alive, Robin. He just goes past the Stasic like he's not there. The surprise is that he doesn't find the pass. Far too much on it. It looks a simple one for him, just to roll it across the goal for Muller.
Yeah, we saw that from Daniel Sturridge to Luis Suarez. Goal at Sunderland on Sunday. They made it look easy. Of course, it's never quite that easy, and even with Robin's wonderful touch, he couldn't provide the pass that would have set up really serious problems for Manchester City. They've still got the wherewithal to make the later chapters of this particular story better reading from their point of view. Wow. Look at the passes. Another pass into Kroos. Ribery, Alaba is onside this time. He's the pick. Out of player here. Hart comes back to Alaba. Oh, that could have been a home goal. It went where Hart could hold it.
Oh, they're on the ropes, Manchester City. They really are. Kroos in that midfield. They've got that 3v2. They really are controlling the game, and it's allowing them to get forward. May just be offside, Alaba. Linesman doesn't give it. A lot of movement in the middle. It just bounces back to Joe Hart. I always think in football you don't mind being attacked from the best teams, but when they win it back off you straight away, that really does the one that hurts you.
Quick thinking by Yaya Toure and by Aguero. That's the best moment Manchester City have put together between two of their top operators. Bayern just flat-footed for once.
Just switch off. You see Aguero there in the picture. He's almost lulling Boateng in. Turns quickly. Neither a cross nor a shot in the end.
Kroos.
Just wonder whether Pellegrini has to do something in respect to the midfield and try and regain some control. If he can drop Aguero to that left side and bring Nasri inside just for 10 minutes.
Well, I for one would like to hear Gareth Barry's take on this at half-time. Been in midfields for Manchester City, saying well, they're still his colleagues really, still his parent club of course.
I bet he's happy sat in that studio.
Well, he's had some tough times facing Guardiola in his career in La Liga. In 8 games, 1 draw, 7 defeats. And on the wrong end of things so far. And a new challenge in England tonight. Lam.
I always think when you're playing against the best teams, you've got to try and stop them having complete control of the game. And at the moment, Manchester City really can't get anywhere near that 3 in midfield. It's allowing Ribery, Robben, Muller, and then the full-backs to get forward at will, just in these positions here. Now, they can't get out to Schweinsteiger, they can't get out to Lahm.
There's Lahm again.
See
Centre-back split, he can just drop between the two and pick up the ball.
Yeah, Torres having to do a lot of running there. You see him looking leggy, having to chase the ball.
Alaba. Ribery. Muller, is he having his shirt pulled? Stasic pleads his innocence, but it's a free kick in a testing situation for Manchester City.
That's when frustration kicks in. You lose concentration. Playing little passes in around the edge of your box just pulls him back. And Stasic.
It's possibly just as well from City's point of view that he did, because if Muller had peeled away onto his right foot, central position.
And Aston Villa scored a free kick in very similar area against Joe Hart at the weekend. He's lining up his wall there. It's a big wall. Dzeko, Yaya Toure, Stasic, Micah Richards and company. 5-man wall. Can he see the ball?
Schweinsteiger is the right-footed option. Alaba has a great technique, but he leaves it for Schweinsteiger into the wall. Schweinsteiger again. Only cleared as far as Dante. Headed out by Clichy. Nasri can't really protect it. This is Rafinha.